Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. I'm literally so thrilled to have you here today. If you've ever, been curious about the hidden architecture of the internet, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're going to completely demystify how digital information is stored, managed, and retrieved. We are laying down the ultimate foundation for managing data.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Have you ever actually wondered how apps like Instagram, Amazon, or even your school's management system store thousands, or honestly millions of records without losing track of a single detail? I mean, how does Amazon know exactly what's sitting in your cart? Or how does your school instantly pull up your grades? Well, the magical answer to that is databases.
So here's our roadmap for today. We'll go through 1. The power of databases. 2. Building your first table. 3. Adding data to tables. 4. Retrieving and filtering data. 5. Modifying and deleting records. And finally, 6. Your SQL journey ahead. Let's get to it.
All right, Section 1, the power of databases, understanding the organized collection of information.
So what actually is it? A database is, quite simply, an organized collection of information. Think about your school for a second. They need to keep tabs on every single student, stuff like your roll number, your name, your class, your marks, the whole shebang. Now, instead of scribbling all those details down in fragile paper notebooks that can easily get lost or damaged, they store this information digitally in a database. It's super secure, entirely searchable, and highly organized.
Just think about how clean and structured this setup is. You can instantly spot Ria, Arjun, and Priya right alongside their respective roll numbers, classes, and marks. By organizing data like this, it's like a giant puzzle coming together. We turn what could be a totally chaotic jumble of numbers and names into a really neat, readable format. But how do we actually build and talk to a system like this? Well, that brings us to SQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. Basically, it's the universal language of data. Just like you'd use English or Spanish to chat with a friend, you use SQL to talk to databases. And the best part? It's incredibly easy to learn. It's used everywhere by all the top tech companies, and it literally gives us the power to directly manipulate these massive collections of data. So with SQL, we can do a bunch of crucial things. We use it to create the database itself, create tables inside it, insert new data, update existing information, delete things we don't need anymore, and retrieve exactly the records we want. In the tech world, we actually have a fun little acronym for this, CRUD. That stands for Create, Read, Update, and Delete. And guess what? We're going to execute these exact operations together today.
Moving on to Section 2, building your first table, structuring our data.
Now, if the word table sounds a bit intimidating, don't sweat it. A database table is exactly like a spreadsheet. It's just rows and columns. The columns represent the different types of information we want to track, say name or marks, while the rows are the actual individual records, like Arjun's specific info, for example. It's a super intuitive way to structure things.
All right, let's write our very first piece of SQL code to build this out. We use the command create table students. Then, inside parentheses, we define our columns. We write roll no int, meaning the roll number is going to be an integer or a whole number. Next, name varchar 30, which just means the name is text up to 30 characters long. And finally, marks int, meaning the marks will be an integer too. See, it reads almost exactly like regular English. Which brings us to Section 3, adding data to tables, bringing the database to life. To actually put information into our shiny new table, we use the insert into command. We type insert into students values, open parentheses, 101, quote Ria, quote, 89, close parentheses. Notice how the text Ria is wrapped in quotes there. Then we do it again for our next student. Insert into students values, open parentheses, 102, quote Arjun, quote, 95, close parentheses. We are literally giving the database exact instructions on what to store.
And boom, there is the immediate result. Our database is updated. That empty structure we just built now successfully holds the 2 rows of records for Ria and Arjun. You just officially stored digital information. How cool is that?
All right, Section 4, retrieving and filtering data, finding what we need. So the command to pull information back out is called select, and honestly, it's easily the most commonly used command in all of SQL. We write select star from students. Now that little asterisk or star symbol, that is super important. In SQL, the asterisk simply means all. So this command is literally saying, hey, select all columns from the students table.
But think about it. What if you have thousands of students and you just want to find one specific person? You definitely don't want to download the entire school's data. To filter things down, we add a where clause. We write, select everything from students where roll number equals 102. We're telling SQL to bring us the columns, but only for the student whose roll number is exactly 102.
And exactly as we asked, the table now outputs only Arjun's record. The where clause brilliantly filtered out Ria and literally anyone else who isn't roll number 102. Our filter worked absolutely perfectly.
Almost there. Section 5. Modifying and deleting records. Keeping data current.
Okay, let's say Arjun retakes a test, right? And his marks go up from a 95 to a 98. We definitely don't want to create a whole new Arjun record. We just want to update his existing one. So we use the update command. We write, update students, set marks equals 98, where roll no equals 102. We specify the table, we tell it to set the new value, and we use our trusty where clause as a safety net, so we only update Arjun and not accidentally the entire class.
As a result, Arjun's marks have successfully changed from 95 to 98, while Ria's stayed exactly the same. No sweat. Finally, what happens if a record just isn't needed anymore? Like maybe Ria transfers to a different school. SQL lets us remove her record entirely with the delete command. We write delete from students where roll number equals 101. Once again, that where clause is absolutely crucial. It acts as our safety net to make sure we're only deleting the specific student we mean to. And here is the final state of our database table. Ria's record has been seamlessly removed, leaving only Arjun. That's it. You have now successfully walked through the entire life cycle of a database record from start to finish.
And that brings us to Section 6, your SQL journey ahead. Summary and next steps.
Massive congratulations are in order. Seriously, you've just mastered the absolute foundational concepts of databases, tables, and the core commands to create, insert, retrieve, update, and delete information. You've officially written SQL. You should be incredibly proud of the progress we made today. But honestly, this is just the beginning. The world of data is so vast and exciting. So, are you ready to take it to the next level? Imagine being able to automatically sort thousands of students from highest to lowest grades, or instantly count exactly how many people passed a tough exam. In our next explainer, we're going to uncover how to sort data and use incredibly powerful functions like order by, distinct, and count. Until then, keep practicing that syntax, stay curious, and I'll see you next time.